Well, hello everybody. Today we're going to be focusing on something a little bit different. It's still going to be slope intercept form, but instead you actually have to put an equation like this one here into slope intercept form since it is not in it. So I'm going to be going over this example here and how to do it. I might be going over this one as well, and then you're going to be doing these on your own, and you have to find what the slope is as well as what the y-intercept is, okay? So as you can see right now, this one says 3x plus 2y equals 10. We obviously know that is not in slope-intercept form. That is in just a regular equation, so we know that slope-intercept form is going to be y equals m, which m we know is for slope, x plus b, and we know that b now is the y-intercept. So m for slope, b for y-intercept. All right, so this is obviously not in that, so we need to change it. So I'm going to use a different color to show you how to do that. So what they're doing here is what they did is they flipped, since 2y is here, what they did is they flipped it and put it on the outside and minused the 3x instead. So you have to take away 3x. So once you do that and you bring it to this side of the equation, you're going to get that negative 3x plus 10. Okay, so that's what they have. They have right here, and now the 2y is on the outside. But we're not done yet because we can't have 2y. We just have to have a plain y, right? Because in slope intercept, again, you cannot have a number next to it. So we have to get 2 by itself now. So when you do that, 2y, now we know when a number, well, you might not know, but I'll tell you right now that when you have a number right next to a variable is a letter that's representing a number. So in this case, the variable is y. The 2y, this represents multiplication. So right now this represents multiplication. So we need to make it so it's opposite. In order to do that, you have to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So you're going to divide by 2y, and then as you can see, not by y, just by 2. And as you can see here, they did negative 3x divided by 2, okay? And then they had to do that again for the other number as well, for the number 10. Because when you divide by 2, you have to divide by 2 for every single number on the other side of the equation. So whenever you need to cancel out a number, they call it canceling out. And when you do that, you have to do the opposite operation. So just like I said, this is multiplication. We have to switch it to division. And then you have to also do that on the other side of the equation. So the other side of the equal sign is here. So then you divide by negative 3 divided by 2, which you get negative 1.5. And then when you divide 10 divided by 2, you get 5. So now it's completely in y-intercept form, or slope-intercept form. So we have the y right here. We have our m, which is the slope, which is negative 1.5 or 1 over 2, whichever way you want to put it, in a decimal or in a fraction. That's completely up to you. And then the x plus our b, which b is the y-intercept. So the answer here is a slope is negative 1.5, and our y-intercept is 5. So this is basically how to do it. Why don't we do just another one together, and then all you got to do is, if you watch this video, you only have to do 2 problems because you're watching this video and you can see me actually doing this one here. So let me get back to, we'll start with red first for the first step. So the first step is obviously, see now this one, it's 2x minus 4y equals 12. So now right now we have to get the 4y over here, okay? We have to do that somehow. All right, we can't just leave it like this. The y has to go to the other side of the equation, on the other side of the equal sign. So we're going to leave the 12 there for now, and we're going to do 2x and then minus 4y. I'm just going to rewrite it right now, and then I'm going to show you what we're doing. Equals 12. Now, we see that this is minus, right? So we're going to minus if it's minus, what's the opposite of minus? Addition. So instead we're going to add 4y. Now I don't like the way they did this here because you're not seeing the actual representation of it canceling out each other. So I'm going to put it underneath here, and with that, this fully cancels out here. Well, actually, let me make that smaller so we don't have it too big. There we go. That fully cancels out, and then you're just going to take your 12, and then you're going to add plus 4y over here. So now our equation is, I'm going to rewrite it. I'll rewrite it in a different color. It's going to be 2x equals 12 plus 4y. Now, obviously, we're not done yet. What do we got to do? We got to get rid of that 12. That 12 has got to go. So right now, this is a positive 12, right? You don't see any negative sign. If you saw a negative sign, then we would add it. But we are not doing it. There's no negative sign, so you are going to subtract this. So when you subtract 12 from 12, you obviously get 0. So it's okay if we run into this. I'm not too worried about that. We're going to subtract 12, and we're going to get our new equation. I'm going to do a different color. Let's do green here. So now we're going to have a negative 12 plus, actually, you know what? Hold on a sec. I messed this up a little bit. Let me do this real quick. We're going to start with 2x first. So 2x minus 12, and there you go. And then we're going to equal, because now we move that 12 over to this side, we're only going to be left with 4y on this side. So that's our next step. I know this is a little complicated. This is algebra, guys. This is linear equations. The next thing we're going to be doing is a lot like this after we do slope intercept form. So it's good practice for all of you because this is what you're going to be learning in 9th grade. All right, so now we have this. Now, obviously, we can't have y. We have to have y by itself. We can't have the 4 in the middle. So, like I said before in our previous one, we had to divide by 2 to get rid of that 2 because this is multiplication. So, again, this is multiplication. So, in order to cancel it out, we're going to have to divide by 4. So, you're going to quickly go divide by 4, which cancels this out. And you're going to divide by 4 for the 2 and the 12. So if you divide by 4, 2 divided by 4, does anybody know what that is? Let's check real quick just to make sure I know what it is, but I'm just going to check it just so I'm correct. Is a half. So 0.5, or we're going to do, in this case, I'm going to do a fraction, which a fraction would be 1 over 2. So then your final equation is going to be 1 over 2x minus, and we know 12 divided by 4 is 3 equals y. So now this is in slope intercept form. Obviously it's a little backwards because you have the y here, but it doesn't really matter as long as you have it in this form. It doesn't matter if you have the equal sign here or the equal sign over here. It's still the same equation. So for our slope is, I'm just going to circle them for you. So your answer for slope is the half, so 1 over 2. And our answer for our y-intercept is the 3. So that, my friends, is how you complete this. Now, this is very tricky, so I would hope that you would come on the Google Meet to get help with this. This is not something that, it takes time and it takes practice to do this. It's not that easy. You have to know exactly what's the opposite of the operations. You have to do inverse operations, which is the opposite, and do that for both sides. So it's basic math, but it is more tricky because you're moving things over from one side to the other, and you have to know the steps you need to take in order to do this. So please reach out for help if you need it. I highly suggest if you really need help, please schedule a Google Meet with me. I can do that. I have no problem doing that. We could just work on it one-on-one together. There's plenty of videos also on on YouTube that you can look at to help you with something like this. So please reach out. Like I said, this is going to be something you're going to have to be doing in 9th grade when you get to 9th grade next year. This is technically 8th grade math. This is math that you would have learned this year. But you're going to have to know this. So if you need the help, now's the time to get it. So, and then once you know this over the summer, you'll be fully prepared for going into class in September. All right, guys, I will talk to you later, and have a great day.